Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Michelle, and in today's page I'm showing you how I did another little embellishment cluster and how I made that work on the page with lots of interest in the background. So I think I did gesso this page before. I do find that these pages in this little journal, the Rainbow Journal from Art by Marlene, does need a coat of gesso for the paint to spread nicely. So it's I guess you could call it a mandala. Don't know, maybe. I'm starting off with fuchsia, and I'm just going to make these little half circle shapes. And when I have some paint left on my brush, I'm just going to do a little bit of mark making. I'm going to dry in between the layers so I don't smudge and make muddy colors. So I started with fuchsia, then I have hot curry, and this is azure. And again with a little bit of mark making, just to make the page and the colors make sense. I'm not going to introduce too many colors. So I did take inspiration from my little embellishment cluster. It had a black fabric on with these kind of colors in a like a florally kind of print, so I thought that worked well. And then of course with cheesy as well, and drying that off as well. And now I'm going to use the exact same paint colors, and I'm just going to go over the top of those blocked out areas to make a little bit of mark making. So I'm not going to introduce more colors, probably just black and white. And yeah, I'm just going to keep building my layers. I'm dipping the end of a pencil into the paint and smushing it down to make these dots. I think I used a paintbrush as well to do the same thing to get smaller dots. And I'm also using a thin paintbrush to make a little bit of lines. So you can see that there's really nothing complicated about making these. It is really just adding lines and dots in different sizes to just add interest. I thought I would do every second section in the yellow part with the dots, and I kept forgetting, so you'll see me wiping off the paint all the time. The good thing about acrylic paints is if it's still wet and the bottom layer is dry, you can wipe it off when you make a mistake. But obviously once it's dry, it's going to stay there. But while it's wet, you do have a chance to correct mistakes. And now on top of some of those mark makings, I'm going in with a little bit more color just to make them a little bit more interesting and fun. Okay, I am going to give all of this a good dry. Obviously the paint that went on the back of the pencil and the back of the paintbrush would be quite thick, so you want to make sure that it is dried off really well before you're going to add more details like pen work or whatever over the top. Obviously if you're going to put your pen through that, it will ruin the pen. So I'm just going in with a little bit of black mark making and possibly white. I can't remember. And again, the black and white details are really just outlining things. I did go in with Marlene's lace paint, that is the white one, and I just did these tiny little dots all over the show where I thought I would need a little bit more interest and where I wanted to bring more brightness into the page. And now I'm going to go in with a white paint pen and just outline some more things. Again, this is just to bring a little bit more brightness over to that side of the page. Now I'm going to use the leftover paint that's left on my palette, and I'm just going to water them down a bit and splat them, making splatters all over the page. This just unifies it all. It just adds a little bit of interest to the page. And then I'm going to go in with my little embellishment cluster. Now this cluster was the easiest thing ever to make. I had a piece of cardboard floating around my desk that had some paint over, and I just stuck a ruffle that I had previously made on top, and another little bit of scrap paper that was floating around, and one of my little shrink film stamped images from Marlene. Easy peasy, and it looks really, really cute. I'm finishing off with a little bit of stamping over the background and more white pen, and I suspect maybe a quote. We'll see. No quote. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys, and I will chat to you again soon. Bye.